Hello, welcome back to Rich Drive. Today we're going to learn how to do an oil change from home. You don't need to engage the services of a mechanic to do this, and you can save money while doing so too on your own. So you'll need simple tools which you can obtain or purchase for yourself. Of course, you'll need new oil. Get to know which oil your car uses and buy one, the correct quantity. Of course, you'll need a funnel to add the oil to your engine, and you'll need something to open the drain nut with from your engine. So you'll need not this spanners but a hexagonal socket which can grip it well. Of course, you'll need a new oil filter after changing the oil. So this one will be fitted to our vehicle. Over the years, or if you own a vehicle, it is best to have the original parts saved somewhere, like this oil filter, so that when you go to buy a new part, you can always go with the original part and get a new one which fits exactly. After draining the oil, of course, we'll also need to replace the air filter so that our service may be at least complete. This is the old oil filter which I've kept, and this is also the old oil filter. Sorry, that was the air filter and this is the oil filter. So you'll have this with you when you go to the shop and get the new parts. Of course, the other tool you'll need is this tool which opens the oil filter. This is a manual one, and it's made up of some piece of chain and a handle. I'll show you how to use it in a moment. Okay, here is our oil filter, and it's the engine sump where it is attached. We'll loosen that oil filter, remove it, and then at the back of the sump we'll loosen this nut which will drain all the old oil from our engine. This is how you use your socket to open the drain nut. Once it has cracked loose, then you can open it by hand all the other way. But this socket is good because it holds the nut on all sides and prevents the nut from being worn off. So you can see it has a good grip on all sides. Of course, I've jacked up the vehicle using a jack and held it up with stones. You can use jack stands to hold up the vehicle. The important part here is safety and also to have space to work. You do not want the vehicle falling back on you. So you carefully open up this and drain the oil. Of course, you don't want to pollute the environment, hence the container. The oil is dirty, was overdue for replacement. This engine holds 3.5 liters and the container holds 3 liters, so we'll need to be ready to plug back the drain hole so that we can bring in another container to get the extra oil. So I'm getting ready to plug this up again. This oil is very dirty, as you can see. It's even frothy. This is not suitable for the engine. I'll put it in this container and continue draining the engine. So it's important to leave all the oil to drain out. And now we can use our tool to open up the oil filter. This tool, it's the first time I'm using it and trying it out. I must. This chain is good. It has a good grip on the oil filter, and you lock it in place at that point. Once you've wrapped it around the oil filter, then you can rotate to open up the oil filter. I'll show you this in a moment. So this is how you go about it. Once it is loose, now you can unscrew it all the way out with your hand. Of course, oil will also pour down through this pot, so position another container underneath it to hold the oil. Of course, handling oil with your fingers is not good, so if you can afford gloves, do so, or make sure you wash your hands thoroughly after this. Because dirty oil or such poor oil causes you to lose lots of fuel, and your vehicle will not be fuel efficient. So changing of oil, regular changing of oil is important to maintain the fuel efficiency of your vehicle. Because after opening the oil filter, I've realized that still some oil is draining from the drain hole. This is because I think there's some air which was trapped inside, which was preventing the oil from coming out. Once I've given it another space, it is coming out. This is our drain nut waiting to be screwed back in once we are ready to put the new oil. Now we have our new oil filter. Of course, we've applied some oil to the top of it where we have the black seal. That will enable the seal to sit perfectly on the surface of this area of the sump where we are screwing it on. So make sure you apply some of the new oil around the edges of the oil filter. You can screw it by hand until it becomes fairly tight where you cannot be able to screw it any further, and then you can use our tool. I found out that it's good if you use it properly, it works best, so you can use it to tighten it down. Of course, it leaves a few scratches on the oil filter, but the results are good. Some people use rope, twine to open or tighten these oil filters. Whatever works for you, provided you can be able to accomplish the job. So that's it. So out with the old and in with our new oil filter. Of course, we've already screwed in the nut which closes the drain hole. Now we are ready to add the new oil. Here on our engine right now, we open the pot where we add our oil. You'll see it's written engine oil. If you open it, you can see into your engine, and you can use your funnel now to ensure that the oil is not wasted. Of course, you can also remove the dipstick so that you can measure the oil while you add it. So using our dipstick, we'll be checking if the oil goes up to the second hole. This upper hole. The lower hole is the lower limit of the oil, the upper is the upper limit of oil. So we want to bring it just up to the upper hole. That's where we want the oil to reach. So here's our funnel, our new oil. As you can see, it's almost clear compared to the dirty oil we've just drained out. So add at least the amount of oil you think your engine needs, and then use the dipstick to check again for the level which you've reached. Here you can see the oil is barely reaching the upper hole on the dipstick, so we need to add some more. So I've added some more oil. As you can see here, the oil has just passed the upper hole, and it may look okay, but we'll have one more thing to do. You need to run the engine for a few minutes to ensure that the oil level remains at that point you've seen. This engine takes around 3.5 liters, and we've just put slightly above 3 liters, so we know there is some oil still we need to add. But to confirm, let's run the engine first. After running the engine for a few minutes, you'll notice that the oil level will drop. That's the importance of running the engine, so we'll need to top it up to the upper level once again. Now after topping up the oil, you can see now it's at the right level, at the upper mark. Now we can return our dipstick. Make sure this seal fits in tightly by squeezing your dipstick firmly into its place. Now you can remove the funnel and close up this oil addition point. Make sure the cap fits in tightly. About half a liter of oil is remaining in this container. This is a 4-liter container, so you can keep it or use it for any other purpose. But that shows you that your engine requires around 3.5 liters. Of course, I've done the air filter change by removing this clip and this other clip and putting the new air filter in place. Now, if you like this content, kindly subscribe, like and share. Thanks for your time.